Hi guys, it's Rachel again. This is part 2 of my Attack on Titan strap tutorial. As from the last video, if you've watched it, I did the basic leg straps, which are fairly easy, and that's the easiest part of these straps. So now I will be showing you on how to put on the upper part, which is the harness. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a yellow shirt, this is part of my Zoe Hanji cosplay. I am doing Sasha, but unfortunately my shirt is in the wash as I'm currently dyeing it so it goes grey. So anyway, into the tutorial. The first part you will need will be the actual harness itself, which is this part. There are two bottom straps, which are the ones that go around the bottom, and then the front buckles. You're doing the buckles first. Unfortunately with these, it's a flimsy material and it does get in the way, so you will have to bear with it. It's not always 100% when you put it on, it's just a case of adjusting it, especially when you put on the next part, which is the main belt. Okay, so that goes on the back. Also, the front strap, if you're a lady, is a little bit hard to get in place. If you can just see on my Mikasa figurine, it just goes above her chest, or above the boobage, if you like to put it that way. Okay, so if you just do up the, if you just do the buckle, don't do it up too tight at first, as you do need to adjust it. So it goes just roughly above here. The key to putting this part on is to make sure that it's in one place at one time, especially when you put on the belt. That's the difficult part, which does involve these parts next. But first, the straps on the back, all these ones, you can do these up next because it makes it a bit easier to keep this in place. There's a buckle on this part here, and you loop that through, so it basically just keeps the harness in place and keeps it tidy. This was the part that took me the most work, was finding out how to put these parts on. I had to modify this one slightly for my boyfriend. Again, I had to use leather straps, but it's relatively quite tidy if you do make a good job of it, and with your machine sew on, it does look a lot better. Okay, so that's that part on. Right, on to the next part, which is the belt. So, excuse me. With the belt, you do not need to put it on all the way around. You have to do it in small parts. Okay. If you can see my face. Okay, so first one. First rule is don't do it all up. I did that the first time and I had to do everything all over again, and it was such a major pain. Okay, basically what you need to do, please excuse the video of my crotch, basically put the belt through the first loop. The key part is keeping the buckle central. Keep it here at all times, because if you don't, it goes like this, or it goes like this, and then it just looks completely wrong and the buckles go all over the place. The best thing to do is, if you're doing the first part, just keep your palm on the belt and do it that way. So we're using this buckle, and the main thing is that you have to get this pin through the bottom hole. So the first thing you do is you slot it through the belt. It's a little tricky because the belt's slightly wider, just to give it a bit more grip in the belt. So you thread that through, like so. And it's always easiest to keep the buckle against your trouser strap, because then that way you've got a mark to keep it. And then you try to get this part through the bottom hole. The top one doesn't matter too much, that's just there for decoration purposes really. So you loop it through. It can be a little tricky to maneuver, but after a few practices it does get easier. And then you loop the belt through the buckle again. So you loop it over and loop it under. So that's the first buckle, and as you can see, the belt is still central. Okay, still working on the belt. Put it through your next trouser notch, or depending on how many trouser notches you have. Again, keep the belt central. And then you will do the back part. Well, see, I have 2 straps here, which is a little irritating because it doesn't always get this next part in place. The next part you will need will be your belt clip. As you can see, it goes diagonally, but they just did it for packaging and they sewed it on the diagonal strip. Well, they did do that, I don't know why, but you need to keep them up straight. And then you loop the top parts for your belt. And sorry for the time delay. Okay, so you keep it central as you can, as that's the key to doing the next strap. I won't bother doing the next trouser strap up because it just gets in the way. Okay. Then you do the same again for the same belt buckle. So you're keeping it before the next trouser strap. Okay, now you can do the belt up fully. And the belt does have a slight bit of excess, so I might have to get a tailor to trim this down for me and heat seal it because it gets in the way, but it doesn't matter too much because it'll be hidden by the belt skirt anyway. Okay. The next part will be the back again, and for this part you'll need your back plate. If you look at the back plate, it splits in 2 at the top, so that's the part you'll need to focus on. The bottom part is just there for decoration. This part's not really essential if you're wearing a jacket, but it's for decoration purposes, so I just do it for cosplay anyway. You get your 2 long straps here, and they will crisscross at the back, but it's easier just to try and keep them straight as possible if you're looping them through. I'm still learning the part of where these ones actually go after, so bear with me. How the heck did the survey card the patient to do these all the time? Get them in the military police or whoever else they want. Okay, so they should crisscross at the back, and then that will be about just before your trouser line. Okay. With the front straps, the loose ones, what I do is I cross them over and I tap them into the belt buckles as they stay quite remotely while in places. The belt's quite tight, so do it that way. And same with the other side. You don't want to do them really tight, because then if you're walking, it kind of restricts your movement a little bit more. Okay, next part you will need your excess straps. You should have 2 of these. Some kits come with the straps already attached, and some come with them loose. So as mine came loose, I have to attach them. You will need the longest strap, which is the one that I had to modify, and you will put it on so it faces upwards. And don't put it all the way down, as it needs to go quite some near the top. You'll see the leather being a pain in the ass about this. Sometimes modifications need modifications. Okay, so that's the strap on. And the next part you will need are your pockets. If you can see, there's 2 poppers and 2 slots. Basically you fold them up and they make the side pockets on your belt. You need to make sure that the smallest piece is facing upwards. You thread it through your belt just around sort of mid-hip, and then you thread your buckle here, your loose one, through the top, and then the strap I just put on goes through the bottom slot. And you have to adjust it as you're putting it on. So then the strap goes through the buckle, and then the excess can just poke through the top, or if you prefer it inside, keep it inside it, and you pop it up. Unfortunately my poppers aren't that brilliant, they put a slightly bent popper on one of them and it doesn't do up, so I'm going to have to modify it. Okay, so that's that. So you can see it looks quite neat and tidy. And then you do the same on the other side. Please excuse the time I'm using to put this together. Unfortunately I don't know how to video edit this, so my apologies. I try and be as quick as I can as a efficient cosplayer. Okay, so again, pocket, smallest up. Buckle through. Strap, I would say, probably needs to go about halfway down, depending on your height. Strap through the buckle, and poppers up. If they will do up, because they're cheap. One of them did anyway. Okay. The back part is the men I'm still learning of, so please excuse me. The way I'm currently going to do it at the moment is with the back piece. So you can see there's 2 diagonal slots, and 2 straight slots. And with the diagonal slots, I will put the 2 back straps. And what I do is I slot them where the spare leg strap is. With the ones I have modified, they will go through the belt, which I will have to now cut and modify. Once I start to learn this process, I'll add it to my next video, as I am still currently learning. So I hope that I've given you a little bit more insight into some of the basics of the Attack on Titan straps. And if you're MCM, I will say hello, or you come say hello to me. If you have any comments or any questions, just ask them below my video and add to my link. And I will also post this on the MCM page and my cosplay page, which is Rachel Selland's Kawaii Cosplay on Facebook. So happy cosplaying, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.